What's goody, YouTube? Welcome back. Despite everything that is going on, COVID-19,
coronavirus,
it's not a game. If you don't have to be out, don't go out. Okay, cover your face, wash your hands. And now that everybody is home and most places are closed, you can watch my YouTube videos. But first off, if it's your first time here, I'm Bri. Welcome to the family. I'm a makeup artist, and today we are going to be talking about, I think, a question that most women still ask me to this day and are still confused about and still need some info and input. So today we are going to be talking about the brush versus the sponge. Now, if you're interested to see me do one side with a brush, one side with a sponge, please keep on watching. You know you wanna watch cause you can't go nowhere and you're stuck at home, so watch my video. First, we're just gonna talk about what my favorite sponge is, because I think everybody knows there's one. It's been winning Allure Best Beauty Sponge, I feel like, every single year since it came out. We're gonna be talking about, yes, you know, that's right, the BeautyBlender
Bomb Sponge.
Sponges are known, especially this sponge, to give a very natural-like finish to your foundation, to your concealer. Sponges are porous, so yes, it might soak up a little bit of the product, but this sponge is designed for your product to stay on the surface of the sponge and fill your pores and give you a very natural-like finish to the skin, okay? The sponge is 20 bucks. There are a bunch of brands that have been making all different kinds of sponges. Morphe, Real Technique, Mercier, drugstore brands make sponges now. So really, if you don't want to spend $20, test out some other sponges and find the one that works for you. But this right here, y'all, this egg, she does the job, okay? Brushes. Some people say that brushes are known to give a little bit more fuller coverage, but depending on what kind of brush you're using, and there are so many different types and styles of foundation brushes, I believe that you can find a natural finish to your foundation and full coverage. Technically, the more dense the sponge, which means how much more tight it is, like something like this right here, very tight, not much movement, this is by Kevin Aquan, is going to give you a little bit more fuller coverage, whereas something like this, which is the Real Technique sponge, not as dense, rounder tip, will give you a little more natural buildable coverage. So today I'm actually going to be using the Real Technique sponge. I got this in a set, and I think this set was maybe like 20 bucks, and you got 3 other sponges with it. Another brush that I have been using a lot, this is actually not even a foundation brush. This is the Laura Mercier cheek brush for blush, but it's not that dense. It's still got a rounder tip, but it's not as round as the others. This brush is $45. This is so good for foundation and concealer, y'all. And this might be one that you wanna maybe check out, try it. If you go to the department stores or Bluemercury's, which are all closed now,
coronavirus,
but when they open back up, because they will, go feel these brushes, see what you like about them, maybe even just make sure that they're clean, have someone apply some foundation on you. So this is another great one. So I'm gonna pull you in a little closer. So we can really get what this is about to look like. Okay, so I am using the Nars
natural radiant longwear foundation.
Beautiful coverage. This is pretty medium to full coverage. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just take, that's about like 2 pumps. So I'm actually gonna go in with the Real Techniques. I'm going to kind of pat this for a natural kind of finish first. With brushes also too, some people feel that it's quick and it's easy to use. Depends on your lifestyle. Some women who are moms feel like a brush is easier. Some people still use their fingers, which all foundations are really made to be able to use your fingers. I mean, before there were any tools, these were the only tools that we had to use. Always, no matter what tool you're using, please just blend it down onto the neck a little bit. Let's not have 2 different colors going on here. So That blended very, very smoothly, very easy. For the Beauty Blender, personally, when I use my Beauty Blender, I do not like to take the sponge right from my hand and put it on, because normally it will get stuck in the sponge, and then when you go to clean it, you know, you can't really get it out. So I'll pop a little bit, take my finger, put the product where I want it, and then take my sponge and blend the product out. And now that the product has kind of mixed, I might take my sponge from hand and then go right onto the face. To me, it looks pretty similar in coverage. Concealer. We're going to use the Nars Radiant Creamy, and we're gonna use the Kosas new Revealer Concealer. I always use 2 concealers, one to kind of correct under my eyes and then one to brighten. So let's use Le Kosas. We're going to use the Kosas concealers because this is a beautiful concealer. I always do just a little triangle. I have a little bit of a dip right in there. Take a little around the mouth. I'm actually going to use the Mercier cheek color brush for this, and then just pat right under the eye. A tip when you're using your brush, please don't go like this, because all that's going to do is move the product around. And that's with eyeshadow, that's with foundation, that's with blush applying. You want to tap, never wipe, because you're just gonna wipe the product away. And these products are not cheap, and we want them to stay in place. Other side, I'm gonna use the clean side of my Beauty Blender and just tap, just like that, around the mouth. That's pretty seamless on both sides. This is my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Caramel. And Caramel, I will normally use, if you guys follow my IG, which I will link below. Caramel is always my brightener and kind of balancer. And that normally, I like to brighten up the center of my face. Sometimes I'll go a little darker with my foundation, but use Caramel to really brighten it. And I'm gonna use that same Mercier brush to blend that out. And I want my concealer to stay towards the center of my face and kind of wing it out to really brighten the under eye. Sometimes I'll go back in with my foundation brush and just go where the edges meet the foundation, just to give a nice little blend. Blender, we can use the butt side here and then to kind of blend it right and have it melt right into where the foundation meets. Pointed side in the crevice. And again, personal preference for either tool. I think it's great to try both to really find out what you like. Just check out both sides here. To me, this side might look a little bit more full coverage than this side. Final thoughts. I always use both. I use a Beauty Blender and I use brushes because I'm a makeup artist and I always am playing with tools. So I do use both in my makeup application. Lately, because I've been doing a little bit more of a fresh look, I've been using more cream products. This takes the cake. But on days where like I'm really in tune or I have somewhere to go, I might use multiple brushes. You know, I might use all 4 or 5 brushes that I showed and use the Beauty Blender. So it really depended on what works for you. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for checking out this video. Leave your comments below. Let me know what tools you're using. Let me know some of the new brushes and sponges that are out on the market that you guys are really liking, because I'll give them a try. You know, sometimes I get stuck in my favorites, and I think it's good to try new products and connect with you guys. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to thumbs it up, give it a thumbs up. If you thumbs it down, let me know why. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon. Peace out. Cub Scouts.